Yeah, just tomorrow night's the night. Been kind of waiting for it since March, really. Just what are your thoughts going into play Oral Roberts?
Well, it's a lot of unknown. We got a lot of guys who will be in new roles. Our first time against Division I competition under the lights, where the coach can't control what's going on, like in a closed scrimmage. So we will do more finding out about ourselves tomorrow than, I guess, I don't know. It's hard when you don't know. I mean, it's new coach, new players. We'll find out a lot about ourselves tomorrow. Yep.
They got a lot of unknowns as well as far as new players. That's going to be interesting. Two teams that are really going in with unknowns.
Yeah, but they've also got two guys who were two of their better players last year. They got a guy, 23, who scored 13 in here as a freshman and was a preseason all-conference pick in their league, and Kearns, who's as good of a guard, I think, in their league. So I think they're a little different in the fact that I think they have a clear understanding of who their top two offensive players are for sure. And we're still finding our way. But yeah, they do have, I believe, 8 new guys as well. But I don't think they've got 4 or 5 sitting out.
You guys feel a little new too, just new pieces on the roster. Just how nice is it for? I mean, you had some guys that played against Oral Roberts last year too. How nice is it to have some new when things didn't turn out very well last year when they were there?
Yeah, I know we'll be different. I think they'll be a little different as well, I would anticipate. Obviously a different venue, a different time of year, first game. I think last year they may have played them 10 games or so in. It's good to have a little bit familiarity with them, but I don't know how much that'll affect us this year. We play a totally different way than what last year's team did. And I think that they've tried to do some things different too with their team. I think this is Coach's second year, but I think it's more important to just have some guys that have actually played Division I, like we got a couple, than necessarily who we're playing against. But I think it'll be a different game in terms of just style of play on both sides of the ball.
Did you go back and watch that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we watched every game they've played for 2 years. I mean, yeah, we watch every game, yeah.
Nothing you can get out of their secret scrimmages, I guess. They've played 2, no exhibition games other than that, right?
I think the only thing that's available sometimes in those agreements are verbal scouts. We typically do a no-trade calls on those because we don't want we use those to get better. We experiment a lot, and typically those are 2 agreements through head coaches. Typically you got some type of relationship with the staff, but no one has shared any film on them whatsoever. And I'm sure that I would hope there's no film on us. It's not supposed to be, but I guess stranger things have happened. But we have not seen any film on them this year.
What do you anticipate tomorrow being like? I see you on Twitter, just interacting with all the students. Just how do you feel like the energy's going to be in here tomorrow?
Well, I would hope it'd be good. I'm not doing that for the game tomorrow. I'm doing that for our program. I'm doing that for the future of our program. Tomorrow is the home opener. It's my first game. I get that, but we're not putting all our eggs in a basket against Oral Roberts tomorrow in year 1 of the new era, I guess. But we're doing that because we're trying to create a new culture as opposed to the game. We'd be doing that no matter who it was. But I anticipate our guys coming out playing hard. Now, whether or not we can execute, I'm not sure. I know we would probably play better if there was some type of energy in the building. But I also think that, this team and this coach and staff, we have to prove ourselves before we get too many people in here, is what I've been told, unless you guys know something I don't know. I'd love for people to come out before we prove it, but I don't think that's going to happen.
What's your game day structure like? How structured is it really?
It depends on the team. Obviously, being our first year here, it'll be very structured. We'll get here, we'll do a shoot around. Well, guys will go to class, and then we'll get here and do a shoot around, a pregame meal, and we'll walk through the last time before we play an opponent. Then we'll try to get them in the building anywhere from an hour and a half to 2 hours before the game, and go through our warm-up like we did the other night and tip it up. But it's pretty structured for sure, yeah.
You kind of have a busy day tomorrow too. You got the coffee thing in the morning.
Oh yeah, yeah. But that's every day's busy, you know. I do have a coffee with the coach tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. and I probably got some other meeting after that. I'm sure I was signed up for something, but yeah.
You said you like to stay busy. Do you like to stay busy through the season too, or are you just trying to open it up a little bit to basketball?
No, I just don't believe in wasting time. I just think there's something that you could do all the time to help, especially when you're trying to build a program. I think there's something you can do, but I don't get like any more animated or antsy on a game day than I do anything. It's just who I am. Yeah, I like to do something.
And you don't see any of that coming into your first night here. I mean, you had the exhibition. You said you were surprised by how calm or how.
Yeah. You know, I've grown as a coach. It's my 5th year, and I've learned that you can't live and die on wins and losses, or you'll die a lot. I think Dean Smith said that. So if the worst thing that happens to me tomorrow is I lose a basketball game, I think I'll be good.
Coach, how much of your system is in right now? Do you continue to add parts of it as the season goes on?
I think a bulk of what we're going to do is in, but you know, per game, per scouting, you always tweak some things that you think maybe could help you. I think offensively, how we're going to play is in. Now, are all of our plays in? No, but that doesn't mean your system's not in. But I think the way we play tomorrow will be how we play. Now, again, there are different schemes for different teams, but I mean, this will be practice 29 today, and we get 30, and we've got a bulk of things in right now.
Coach, what's the chemistry like right now? I mean, you talked about 29th practice.
Yeah.
Is it too early to build that big of a chemistry?
Yeah, I think it is. I asked our trainer today because he would know our chemistry better than I would, but I don't think it's been a secret the last 3 weeks or so that these guys know about these waivers, potential waivers. So I think that affects your practice some. We've practiced like we would not have them, but then certain drills we try to mix them in a little bit. So I don't know what our chemistry's like right now, to be honest. I think it's still early. Obviously, we haven't played a game, but I'm more interested in our defensive chemistry. I know the last couple of days in practice, we haven't made plays on the same page defensively. And so until that changes, I would say our chemistry is still a work in progress. Offensively, it's easy. I mean, if they don't hit the open man, they're probably going to be in trouble. I mean, that takes care of a lot of the offensive chemistry, but that defensive chemistry, I think, is kind of where we're probably not quite there yet. If they get a lot of open looks tomorrow, then we're obviously not there yet.
How long does that take? How long did it maybe take you at last play, Tennessee?
Yeah, you know, it's all about buy-in, right? We're 29 days in with this group, and it's not 100% buy-in yet, and it's not out of them not wanting to. It's just you can't get 100% buy-in in 29 practices. So I just think each day we start to inch closer and closer to the 100% buy-in, and once we get 100% buy-in, I think that that'll be able to reflect in some of our chemistry. But I was in year 3 at my last place, and that team their defensive chemistry was pretty good. But I mean, that took a long time. So now here, it's not as complex. Here it's a little bit more simpler because on a regular basis we're playing better players. So we've got to be a little bit more simpler than some of the things we did at the last spot. But chemistry takes time. But it's not there because of anyone being reluctant or against what we're trying to do. It's just not there because it's a big problem to work out, and we haven't had enough time.